So why would you buy a sphere modeling mic? Well, here's a reason. This is a $10,000 microphone, but the Universal Audio Sphere LX and DLX microphones can emulate its sound for a fraction of the price. And the Sphere mics can sound like this one too. And the one above my head. And this one, and oh, the Neumann U87. But mic emulation is only the beginning. In this video, I'll share some of the things the Sphere mics do that make them so interesting and useful. Are they right for you? Let's find out, and I'll highlight some pros and cons as well. First things first, how close do these sound to the real thing? Let's try them. This is the Sennheiser MKH 416, which is one of the best voiceover microphones available right now. I use it for all my videos. And yeah, it isn't cheap. Let's just do a comparison right now. I'm going to use the more inexpensive Sphere LX. I wish Universal Audio had included a shock mount with the LX. That would have made sense for the price. A shock mount is included with the DLX version. Okay, so you can see in the software all the different mics it can emulate. You get 20 different mics with the LX and 38 with the Sphere DLX. You've got ribbon, condenser, and dynamic mics here. I'll choose the 416. Now here's something you can't do with the MKH 416. Change it after you've recorded with it. Yeah, I've recorded with the Sphere mic and I can switch to another mic using the Sphere software plugin. How does this work? Well, they say that these mics are made to be very neutral, and having the software learn and then know exactly how this mic sounds, the plugin can then make adjustments to the sound to emulate other mics. Neat trick, but there's more. And this is where things get really interesting. You know how changing your distance from the mic changes the sound? Yeah, I've had problems with this before. I've recorded a great vocal take, well, the 10th vocal take, and I was a bit too far from the mic, changing the character of the sound. Closer up typically gives you more bassy, lower frequencies. Well, the Sphere mic can change the proximity in the software. So here's that up close sound, and here's the far back sound. And I didn't have to re-record the take. I can also change the access. Let's say if I wanted to angle the mic differently, or if a singer was angled weird when they recorded, well, again, I don't have to re-record it. It actually knows how the mic sounds at different angles. Okay, check it out. More cool things that this mic can do. Let's try another mic and I'll show you another feature. This is the Sony C800. I'll test out a few more mic emulations later in this video. For this one, we're going to try the more expensive Sphere DLX, but the Sony emulation also works on the LX. By the way, this mic used to be sold under the Townsend Labs name, and if you have that older mic, you can still use the updated Sphere software with it. Now, just for fun, let's add the Slate ML-1 mic. This is another modeling mic from a different company.
Lead me on, girl, if you want. Take my heart and my love. Take of me all that you want. And if there's a thing that you need, I'll give you the breath that I breathe. If ever you yearn for the love in me, I'll give you the breath that I breathe. I'll give you the breath that I breathe. I'll give you the breath that I breathe.
I think both modeling mics did a good job. They both captured the vibe of the Sony mic. I hear some unwanted resonance around 1000 kilohertz on the Slate mic that isn't there on the Sphere mic, and the Slate sounds a little thinner. The Sphere mic sounds closer to the original. Now, neither of the modeling mics are spot on. The Sony mic just has a fuller sound overall, but what do you think? Should I sell my Sony C800 and keep the Sphere mic instead? Comment below. Okay, here's another trick. I can actually tell the software that I was recording with a reflection shield. Yeah, the Aston Halo is actually here. And they have other popular shields as well. And the software adjusts the tone of the mic accordingly.
Lead me on, girl, if you want. Take my heart and my love. Take of me all that you want.
Okay, so these mics are actually recording sound from the front and the back, so you can switch the polar pattern even after you record. The Sony C800 emulation can do cardioid and omnidirectional, but I can also make it sound like a hypercardioid or a figure 8. These mics are recorded in stereo, so the software can analyze the signal from the front and the back. So make sure you plug the two output cables in the right order. I made a mistake when I first did the unboxing, so front goes first, back goes into input 2. And here you'll see that it's actually recording both signals and then processing it through the software. The stereo recording gives the software all the information it needs to change patterns and account for the mic shield and the room noise. Okay, another useful trick. The software can also give you the sound of two mics recorded simultaneously. Maybe you're recording a guitar and want to hear the sound of it recorded with an SM57 and an AKG C414. Well, you can do that too. And you can choose different combos to see what works best for you. And mix them as you wish, change alignment, and you can always apply a filter as well with the filter control right here. Let's do a couple more comparisons. I recorded some vocals with the Neumann U87 and the AKG C414 some time ago. I'll re-record them with the Sphere mic so we can compare some new models with the new Sphere. And I'm using the LX this time.
Turn down the light, turn down the bed, turn down these voices inside my head. Lay down with me, tell me no lies, just hold me close, don't patronize. Turn down these voices inside my head. Turn down these voices inside my head. Turn down these voices inside my head. Turn down these voices inside my head.
So what do you think sounds better? Is it worth the money to get the originals, or do the Sphere mics sound close enough? Comment below. You know, I wish they'd included the Manley reference cardioid mic with the Sphere emulations. I had recorded with that mic previously and you guys loved it. Okay, let's talk about some key differences between the two Sphere mics. The Sphere LX is the cheaper one and costs $999. The DLX costs $1,499. You get a little less self-noise with the DLX 7 dB versus the 10 dB on the LX. You get a shock mount included with the DLX. The LX comes with a regular mount. Both come with very nice carrying and storage cases and cables. Both mics work with any audio interface that has two XLR inputs and any DAW. If you use these mics with the Universal Audio Apollo interfaces, you can use their Unison technology that gets almost zero latency when you record and monitor live. The LX comes with 20 mic models, while the DLX has 38. That's the biggest difference. Now, the Sphere DLX also can record stereo, the LX cannot. And this is one extra trick that the DLX does. The DLX can use a separate plugin called Sphere 180 to do this, and you can even adjust the stereo width. So who is this for? I think it's right for you if you want flexibility. If you don't want to commit to a recorded sound, having the option to change it later, or just to get the vibe of some of these really sought after mics without spending a lot of money. Now, who is this not for? Well, if you're a vocalist and you know the one mic you love to use with your voice, maybe stick with that, even if it means spending a little more. You may just love having the real thing with the small nuances it comes along with. I will say one thing. It's really hard to find some of those iconic mics these days. The Sony C800G is not in production and hasn't been for a couple years now. And finding a U47 or a C12 that I could afford is pretty much impossible now. Now, the Sphere mics aren't cheap. They feel like they're built very well, and I think you might be paying a little bit more for that Universal Audio name and reputation. I think the cheaper Sphere LX is the way to go for most producers. It's cheaper, you get lots of different mics, lots of control, and the size is kind of convenient for traveling too. Now, if you really think you'll make use of stereo recording capabilities, then get the DLX. Do you have other options? Yes. Slate makes the ML-1 modeling microphone, and it costs around $800. You won't get all the features that you get with the Sphere mics. You can't adjust proximity, access, compensate for the mic shield, and the collection of mics is different. But hey, I always say, buy what you can afford now. You can always upgrade later. So should I sell my Sony C800 mic? What do you think? Or maybe I'll just put it away for a bit while I enjoy the mics included with the Sphere. And hey, if you want to watch a full comparison of original mics for male, female, and rap vocals, watch the videos right here. I compare the most popular mics in the industry. Keep making the music you love. I'll see you soon.